Rod of Discord, possibly Terraria's most iconic non-weapon item drop, notoriously known for being ludicrously difficult to obtain, but offering one of the most OP functionalities of anything in the game. Despite its original elusiveness, however, throughout the years, the game has introduced more and more mechanics to make farming for the Rod easier, like expert mode, the ability to AFK, and an increased drop rate on certain seeds. Today, we're going to be looking at another mechanic we can use to our advantage to increase the Rod's drop rate as far as possible. Of course, I'm talking about luck. Let's just say, by the end of this, you probably won't need any more Rod of Discords for a while. Before we jump into it though, if you enjoy these kind of videos, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, as it truly helps out the channel. Okay, let's begin, shall we? Luck is a very bizarre mechanic, being introduced in 1.4.4 with almost no evidence of its presence. To make today's project a little easier, we will be using a mod to display our current luck, as the only way to find out in vanilla at least is by talking to your wizard and hoping for one of 4 cryptic messages in return. Anyway, with this out of the way, I'm first going to show you a selection of reliable passive ways to increase your luck, then we'll look at some of the more irregular methods. Unfortunately for us, we're going to need to first obtain some pink bells from fishing oysters in your oasis biome. Oysters themselves aren't particularly rare, but with a pink bell having a 1 in 75 drop rate, you may be here quite a while. With your pearls obtained, you're going to want to first brew a greater luck potion with an additional water leaf and ladybug, then head to your aether biome, which mine in this world for some reason had a pool of water spawn on top of it, and then throw in your pink pearl to receive a galaxy pearl in return. From a base of 0 luck, consuming both the pearl and potion will equal a 0.33 increase. Next up on the easy-ish to access list, we actually have a placeable piece of furniture that'll permanently benefit you as long as you're in range: garden gnomes. To obtain one, you're going to want to head to a living wood tree and hang around for a bit. Assuming you do have a lifeform analyzer, it shouldn't be too long until one shows up. Just make sure not to kill it though, as to obtain the item itself, we will need to expose it to sunlight. When placed, the garden gnome will miraculously increase your luck by 0.2, bringing us to a total of 0.53 luck. Next up, we have something I genuinely didn't know about till recently: 2 lucky accessories, the lucky horseshoe and lucky coin. Simply by equipping both of these will grant you an additional 0.1 luck, taking us to a total of 0.63 luck. Okay, we're getting there. Now it's time for good old torch luck. For those of you who don't know, one of the easiest ways to increase your luck by an additional 0.2 points is by surrounding a biome with the correct corresponding biome torch. In the underground hallowed at least, make sure to fill it up with plenty of hallowed torches, as this will make all the difference, taking us to a total of 0.83 luck. Now, this is where things do get a little more tricky, unfortunately. You see, one of the sharpest luck increases in the game is attached to the Lantern Night event, a guaranteed peaceful event that occurs after defeating a boss or invasion for the first time. Luckily, this is typical during the time you'd normally be farming the Rod of Discord, but just be aware that you've got a finite amount of these at your disposal. Okay, so with this taking us to a total of 1.03 luck, this is actually us capped out. You see, for a reason I cannot fathom, despite the fact you can take luck all the way to 1.73, you'll get no beneficial value past 1. So just for the sake of giving you more options, other more inconsistent ways to increase your luck include throwing coins in Shimmer, touching a ladybug, and killing the guide. Anyway, however you cap your luck at 1, which can be comfortably achieved with the previous steps, let's see just how much impact this has on the Rod of Discord's drop rate. Technically speaking, we can't get the exact per kill amount on how this affects the base 1 in 400 chance in expert mode. However, by looking at the mind-numbingly complex stuff on the wiki, you'd average out to around 50% of the amount of drops as normal, in turn making it an incredibly buffed 1 in 266 chance across a large sample size of kills. This really is an astronomical increase, and will not only make the grind substantially easier, but also save you hours of time. So I mean, the question is now, can we make it even better? Well, remember earlier when I said some seeds could increase the Rod's drop rate? Well, on the Celebration Mark 10 seed, the Rod's base drop rate is buffed to only 1 in 100, and does stack with luck, therefore equaling about 1 in 66. This means that if you build yourself an optimal enemy farm using a platform underground, you'll be getting Rod of Discords out the wazoo. I mean seriously, just look at this. In only half an hour of play, I managed to get myself 6 rods just out of 438 elemental kills. I guess the Rod of Discord isn't so rare after all. This has been sockrteez, and I'll see you in the next one.